This is a place I love. These are really good folks in here. Getting some fertilizer for the millet field. Time to go plant some millet. Alrighty, got our millet. Let's roll. Got our 4 bags of 3400 loaded up. 5 pounds of Japanese millet, 5 pounds of pearl millet. We're gonna try something a little bit different, had not planned on. Let's roll to the farm. I did not give these guys enough credit in my first product sourcing video. Country Farm and Home here in Pittsboro. These are some really good folks. I would say I buy almost all my fertilizer from here. This year was an exception going down to Nutrient. In years past, all the fertilizers come from Country Farm and Home here. They've got pretty much anything you need. I don't think they have rice, but about everything else you would need for the dove farming, they've got it. And there's some really good folks in there. Get Dad loaded up here. Got our fertilizer, got some millet. We'll talk about that more in just a minute. You're about to enter the Thunderdome. We're doing a battle of the millets. We got 5 pounds of Japanese millet, 5 pounds of pearl millet, and then all the brown top. So I'm gonna turn you loose into a strip of Japanese, we're gonna do a strip of pearl, and then we're gonna do the rest of it in brown top. And have 3 side by side and see which one produces the most seed, the biggest heads. Do you accept your mission?
I accept.
All right. The first one we'll do is the Japanese. And all 3 of these have different head shapes, so we'll be able to tell them apart pretty good, I think. We got a dead field, and it is completely dead and browned out. Some of the bigger broadleaf weeds are still stressed and dying, but that's no big deal. The entire lower canopy, for the most part, is completely dead. So that millet should fall right down through all this dead detritus, no problem at all. We'll come back in here, bush hog all these oats and wheats. It'll be a nice mulch cover sitting right on top of that millet. So here's the plan. I came up with this last second. We're doing battle of the millets. We've got 5 pounds of Japanese millet. We're gonna spread down 1 strip. 5 pounds of pearl millet, we're gonna do down another strip. The rest of it we'll do in brown top millet. So we're gonna do side by side of 3 different millets to see which one turns out the best. And we have another surprise. One of the nurses that helped get Dad out of the hospital has come and joined us at the farm to help spread some millet. So this is exciting. We got a newbie out here, so I don't know how this is gonna turn out. We should be okay. That seed and fertilizer falls right down in here, no problemo. There's fertilizer and seed all sitting right here together on the dirt. So this should work out just perfect. We did it 2 years ago with a lot of success. How was that? Your first time driving a tractor?
Well, I've driven a New Holland before, but that was not a good. It was not good. This is easy. I was just worried about you falling off. I know.
Oh, stop being a nurse for a little bit.
I can't help it.
She got the 5 pounds of Japanese millet put out. Now we're gonna put out the pearl millet, which I've never grown ever in my life. So I'm kind of curious how that's gonna turn out. I set you too heavy. That was my fault. I put it too heavy.
Well, we got the first row.
And it's gonna be plenty fertilized because 1/4 of the whole field just went on that 1 strip. So this pearl millet, same thing, just stagger off to where you know you didn't hit. But I'm gonna set it so it barely comes out this time to make sure we get a full sweep. Yeah, we'll run higher. That way it goes further. She might have just put out 1/4 field worth of fertilizer in 1 strip. So this may not be a fair assessment, because that got some super nitro. That should be a little bit better. That's only 1/4 bag of fertilizer with that 5 pounds of pearl millet. So got a little bit of a learning curve. That's what it's about. Sharing new experiences with new people, getting them exposed to all this. That's the fun part about it. Next thing we're gonna do is put 100 pounds of the brown top millet over the remaining 3/4 of this field. That should be plenty and adequate coverage. Millet's one of those things that's more forgiving. I've noticed you can plant that heavier and it doesn't seem to overcompete with itself, and it's not quite like the sunflower process. We just don't micromanage that millet too much. But we are adding in 3400 fertilizer to this 1 acre field to give it a nice nitrogen bump, but also all this thatch and mulch cover is going to also provide a nice nutrient layer in there as it continues to decompose. I think that went better. Got the brown top millet loaded up, 100 pounds of fertilizer, ready to roll. Wrapped up. I think she was really getting it figured out there towards the end. There is an art to it with those clunky adjustments on that spreader, getting your speed figured out. Let's come in here and pick a random spot as we always do, so we're not biased. And there we go. Millet sitting right on the ground. Fertilizer sitting right next to it. Soil is still moist down in here, so all that mulch cover is going to sit right there. This millet's going to be off to the races quick. So unfortunately, I had to roll out before we could wrap up the project. But Dad hopped on the big John Deere with the bush hog and mowed the entire field after the spreading of the millet and the fertilizer. He was even able to wrangle in some of the day help to help with the process. But between everybody involved today, we got a little over 1 acre of brown top millet, a little bit of Japanese millet, and a little bit of pearl millet overseeded into the standing dead wheat field. So, hope you guys enjoyed it. This is a very simple process. I would encourage you to try it on one of your fields. We'll be back out here in a couple weeks to check on status. But until then, as always, thank you for watching, and God bless.